Want to have lunch with Scott?
Does Luke want to have lunch with Scott?
No, that's
Luke
not what he wants.
That's
Luke
not what
doesn't
he
want to have lunch with Scott.
Luke doesn't have.
What does Luke want?
What does Luke want?
Luke wants to meet with Scott.
Luke wants to meet with Scott.
Does Luke want to borrow money from Scott?
Does Luke want to borrow from Scott? No, Luke doesn't want to borrow money from Scott.
No, Luke doesn't want to borrow money from Scott. What does Luke want?
What does Luke want? Luke wants to
meet with Scott. Does Luke want to have a meeting with Scott?
Does Luke want to have a meeting with Scott? Yes, Luke wants to have a meeting with Scott.
Yes, that's correct. Luke wants to meet with Scott, which is the same thing as saying that Luke wants to have a meeting with Scott. To meet with someone means to have a meeting with someone. Does Luke think the meeting will last all day?
Does Luke think the meeting will last all day? No, Luke doesn't think the meeting will last all day.
How long does he think the meeting will last?
How long does he think the meeting will last? He thinks
the meeting will last about 3 hours. Does he think the meeting will last more than 4 hours?
Does he think the meeting will last more than 4 hours? No, he doesn't think the meeting will last
more than 4 hours. How long does he think the meeting will last?
How long does he think the meeting will last?
He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours.
He thinks the meeting will last about 3 hours.
Does Scott have time for meetings this week?
Does Scott have time for meeting this week? No, Scott
doesn't have time for meetings this week. He's very busy.
He's very busy.
Is Scott a little busy or very busy this week?
Is Scott a little busy or very busy this week?
Scott is very busy this week. Will the meeting between Luke and Scott take place this week?
What's the meeting Luke and Scott take place this week?
No, the meeting between Luke and Scott will not take place this week.
No, the meeting between...
When will the meeting take place?
What will the meeting take place? Why will the meeting
The meeting will take place next week.
The meeting will be take place
next week. Is it true that the meeting will take place next week instead of this week?
Is it true the meeting...
Yes, it's true. The meeting will take place next week instead of this week.
Yes, it's true. The meeting take place
Why will the meeting take place next week instead of this week?
Why will the meeting take place next week instead of this week? The meeting will be take place next week because...
Well, the meeting will take place next week instead of this week because Scott is very busy this week. Now, let's have Luke and Scott figure out the best day next week to set up their meeting. You're looking at the schedules for Luke and Scott for next week. I'm going to ask questions based on their schedules. Will Luke be in the office on Monday?
Will Luke be in the office on Monday?
Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Monday.
Yes, he will.
What about Scott? Will Scott be in the office on Monday? No, he won't. Scott won't be in the office on Monday. Who won't be in the office on Monday?
Who won't be in the office on Mondays? Scott won't be in the office on Monday.
Scott will be in the office on Monday. Is it true that Scott will be absent for work on Monday?
Is it true Scott won't be in the office?
Yes, that's true.
On Monday.
Scott will be absent from work on Monday.
Yes, that's true. Scott.
Can I set up the meeting on Monday?
Can they set up their meeting on Mondays? No, they can't set up their
No,
meeting.
they cannot set up the meeting on Monday. Why can't they set up the meeting on Monday?
Why can't they set up their meeting on Mondays? They can't set up their meeting on
Well,
Mondays
they
because
can't
Scott
set up the
won't be in
meeting
the
on
office.
Monday because Scott won't be in the office. He'll be on vacation.
Here, he will be on vacation.
Will Luke be on vacation next week?
Will Luke be on vacation next week?
No, Luke won't be on vacation next week.
No, Luke won't be
Who
on
will be on
vacation next week.
vacation next week? Scott will be on vacation next week.
Scott will be on vacation
Will
next
he be
week.
on vacation for 5 days? No, he won't be on vacation for 5 days.
No,
This
he
is going to be a short vacation. How many days will he be on vacation?
How many days will he be on vacation?
He'll be on vacation for 3 days.
He will be on vacation for
Will
3
Scott
days.
be in the office on Monday?
Will Scott be in the office on Mondays? No, Scott won't be in the
No,
office
Scott
on
won't
Mondays.
be in the office on Monday. Does that mean they can't set up the meeting on Monday?
Does that mean they can set up their meeting on Mondays? Yes, they can't set up their meeting on Mondays.
Yes, that's exactly right. That means they can't set up the meeting on Monday. What about Tuesday? Can they set up the meeting on Tuesday?
What about Tuesday? Can they set up their meeting on Tuesday? No,
No,
they can't set up
They
their
still
meeting
can't set up the meeting on
on
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Why can't they set up the meeting on Tuesday?
Why can't they set up their meeting on Tuesday?
Well, they can't set up the meeting on Tuesday because Scott won't be in the office.
Well, they can set up
Who
their
will be
meeting.
absent from work on Tuesday?
Who will be absent from work on Tuesday? Luke.
It's Scott.
It's
Scott will be absent from work on Tuesday. Will Scott be back on Wednesday?
Will Scott be back on Wednesday? No, they can't.
No, he won't.
No, he
Scott
won't.
won't be back on Wednesday.
Won't be back on Wednesday.
When will Scott be back?
When will Scott be back? Scott will be back.
Scott will be
On
back on
Thursday.
Thursday. Will Scott be absent from work on Thursday?
Will Scott be absent from work on Thursday?
No, Scott won't be absent from work on Thursday. He'll be in the office. All right, so Scott will be back on Thursday. Does that mean they can set up their meeting on Thursday? Unfortunately, no. They still can set up their meeting on Thursday.
They still can set
Why
up their
can't they
meeting
set
on
up their
Thursday.
meeting on Thursday?
Why can't they set up their meeting on Thursday? They can't set up their meeting on Thursday because Luke has a
Well,
doctor
they can't
appointment
set up their
that day.
meeting on Thursday because Luke won't be in the
Luke
office.
wants
He has a doctor's appointment that day. Who has a doctor's appointment on Thursday?
Who has a doctor appointment on Thursday? Luke.
It's Luke.
has
Luke has a
doctor
doctor's appointment on
appointment
Thursday. Does Scott have any doctor's appointment next week?
Does Scott have any doctor appointments?
No, Scott doesn't have any doctor's appointment next week. Tell me again, why can't they set up their meeting on Thursday?
Tell me again, why can't they set up their meeting on Thursday? They can't set up their meeting on Thursday because
They
Luke
can't set up their
has
meeting
a
on
doctor
Thursday
appointment
because
that
Luke
day.
has a doctor's appointment that day, so he won't be in the office.
So he won't be in the office.
Will Luke be in the office on Friday?
Will Luke be in the office on Fridays?
Yes, he will. Luke will be in the office on Friday. What about Scott? Will Scott be in the office on Friday as well? Yes, Scott will be in the office on Friday as well. Can they set up their meeting on Friday?
Can they set up their meeting on Fridays?
Yes, they can set up their meeting that day.
Yes, they can set up
Will
their
both
meeting
Luke
on
and
that day.
Scott be in the office on Friday?
Will Paulo and Luke and Scott be in the office on Friday?
Yes, they will. Both Luke and Scott will be in the office on Friday. Can I set up their meeting on Friday?
Can they set up their meeting on Fridays? Yes, they can. They can set
Yes,
up
they
their
can.
meeting on
Both
Friday.
Luke and Scott will be in the office on Friday, so they can set up their meeting that day.